All right. Hello, everyone. I am back again. Uh, First of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you got safely into the new year and you didn't, yeah, get hurt in any way with all the fireworks and all that. And yeah, that you were just safe with all the stuff that's going on in the world. And yeah, just hope you had a good time. Yeah. First of all, I just want to comment on an article here from yesterday, uh, and yeah, about FuboTV and how the stock is dropping. And I just want to. There's like a part here, where it says, yeah, here. At uh, a recent analyst presentation, FuboTV co-founder and CEO David Gandler said the company plans a second phase of integrating Balto Sports, during which it will be looking for an entry point into wagering in terms of potentially becoming a sportsbook. And investors can either read that as a path to sports betting or as hesitation. And that's weird to me because the fact that a guy, and let's say it's the CEO of the company, says, yeah, we're going to have a second phase to see if this is going to be possible or not. I'm thinking to myself right away, yeah, that's what people have been talking about for a long time. Um, is this idea they have? Is this gonna happen? And to me, I just see this as they're working on making it possible, and there's a lot of things happening where people would be either saying this is not possible or this is possible. And my thoughts in general, I don't think it's the wildest, most crazy thing to imagine this being possible. I really don't. So that's just what I think. And as they say, because they're right in a sense, they say investors either read it this way or the other way. And that's right. So, yeah. And I read it as if they're trying to get it to work. And it's not 100% for sure yet that they can make this work. But I do not really read this from this, but that's obviously some thoughts that people will have with this thing. So that's yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That it's them; they're trying to make it work. And yeah, so yeah, that was just my comment on this article. But there's yeah, there's really no yeah, I don't really just see it as being that crazy new technology sort of thing that it wouldn't be possible or something like that. Um, I just, I remember when, for instance, when Blockbuster started closing, the place where you went and rented videos back in the day, or DVDs, and when they closed and you started going, yeah, you go on the internet and you'd rent it on your computer and watch it there, and then it all of a sudden you could rent it on your TV screen also. Like that to me, that I remember is not that long ago, but I actually found that sort of surprising that people actually did that, like years ago. I actually did, and it's sort of funny when you think about it now, because it's so simple and obvious. That's the way you do it. And to me, like, it's yeah, I think it was mainly just the thoughts of what if I open the video and then it cracks up or stops for some reason, and I can't finish it and I have to repay or something, and then found out, oh, you have access to the movie for 2 days. Oh, that would work, I would think. And then, but there was always thoughts, just all these thoughts, and it just. I think my point with the story is just that it's so natural today to just go online, go into some streaming service, and uh, rent a movie. And I think this placing a bet is gonna be very natural, very. Uh, if you want to place a bet, it's not gonna be something you're thinking, oh, this is this is something I need my computer for necessarily. Um, but yeah, and to just get around to that, on this article, this Greenfield guy is talking about. I just want to show you the articles here. First of all, it's also put up yesterday, and this Greenfield guy, I forget his name, Rich Greenfield or something like that. He's of course he's the guy that analyzed the stock to be worth $8, and he has all these besides this number he gave us, he has all these weird small small things, he would say, like these small reasons why and this and that. Like for instance, he says in this article something about that people would just take their laptop and place their bets on, even though they were watching it on the TV. They'd be watching a sports game, and he would say, people are just gonna take their computer and place their bet, or their phone and place their bet. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, so this is a specialist. This is like one of the main guys that people listen to, and that's his. I know that that's not his only reason for saying that. That's not his only. That's not his only, or that thing alone is just something he says, I think. But he has whatever reasons, whatever way he came around to it, he doesn't believe it's worth more than $8, and maybe he's right. Who knows? But to say, people are not gonna people are not gonna place their bets on their TV. They're gonna still use their computers. You don't know that. Like, no one knows that. Like, I wouldn't know that. He wouldn't know that. No one would know that. Not even, the people that maybe someday are buying an account at FuboTV to do this because they're looking forward to do this. Know if they'll end up maybe not doing this. Like, no one knows if they're whatever way they're gonna do this. So this is just another sort of ridiculous, it's like not relevant argument to not believe in the stock. Yeah, and let me just see here. What else was it? Yeah, it's also just he talks about that it shouldn't be compared to Netflix. FuboTV. It shouldn't be compared to Netflix, and yeah, of course it shouldn't. But that's what people are gonna, do up in their head when they think, oh, what is a successful streaming platform? People are not thinking, oh, it's just like Netflix. They're not thinking that. They're just thinking, oh, does it have any possibility of becoming somewhere in the range of Netflix? But people know it's not gonna be the next Netflix because Netflix is crazy huge. So another weird thing to focus on. Uh, yeah, but anyways, yeah, I had prepared a couple of clips I wanted to show, but just before that, just wanted to get back to this here about the if it's gonna be possible to make a bet on your TV with Fubo stock or not. Like if it's gonna be possible for them to get that deal set up in some way, like to get that working. And after just thinking about it for a while, I thought to myself, what was it that made me excited about this stock when I heard about it first? I did not hear about the sports betting part before later. The first thing I heard was someone is making a streaming service where they're providing sports. And not just a couple of things, like loads of sports. Like loads of different sports, different countries, different, like all sorts of sports. I thought to myself, that's just brilliant, because I know a lot of people that love sports, and they would definitely watch that stuff like all the time. So yeah, I'm just saying, the first thing that caught my attention about this stock was just the idea of making one for people that love sports. And then I heard about the possibility to bet on your thing, to bet on your streaming service. And I thought that was brilliant too, because most of the people I know that watch football or watch whatever they're into, they place bets, and they place small bets, just something to give it that extra thing, the game. Just make it a bit more fun. And I really don't see any technological problems with creating this when you're able to use your credit card online on all sorts of things on your TV. Why would you not be able to use your credit card when you place bets on some type of sports game? I don't see any technological problems with that. And again, I don't know anything about those things, but I'm just thinking to myself, if it's possible on other things, like if it's possible to use your credit card on other streaming services, why wouldn't you be able to do that? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, we'll have to wait and see how that part goes. But in general, I really, I'm really still into the whole FuboTV stock, and I think it's gonna do extremely well when it gets past this whole this dip that we're going through now, and when the whole, if there's gonna come this shared illusion, which no one has officially said, but they've just been mentioned that they might do that, and maybe they'll do that. And when that blows over, if that happens, I don't know if that happens, but if the shared illusion comes, after that, it will go up again. That's my thoughts. I don't know, but that's just my thoughts. And yeah, it's just there's so many things that's just weird. Yeah, but yeah, the weird things that are being said, like why couldn't you compare, like if you're talking about, like, let's say the stock Neo with the EV cars, and you're talking about Tesla and all those things. Like if you talk about Neo is constantly compared to Tesla. It's not, doesn't mean that it's people think it's the same, or it's gonna be the same, or something like that. Yeah, some people might hope that or something, but right now Tesla is so ahead of Neo, so it's just people comparing it to the biggest out there, and that's the normal way to think. It's not that you couldn't compare Neo to to whatever else, Xpeng or whatever the other stocks are named. It just makes more sense to compare an upcoming thing to a successful thing. And to compare FuboTV to Netflix doesn't mean that you think that it's the next Netflix. It just means that's a natural way of thinking about, I wonder what they did back in the day. I'm wondering if FuboTV has some of the same types of ways they go about the things that Netflix went about their things. Or just normal thoughts. No one's doesn't mean that people are saying it's gonna be this or something like that. But anyways, I just had a clip here of this guy talking about this Rich Greenfield. Yeah, Rich Greenfield. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this part here. Oh, and I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm just gonna turn it up. I hope you can hear it.
Because this business doesn't make money. It used to be called DirecTV Now. You may remember it was a big hot VMVPD a year ago, and they basically have been shedding subscribers over the past year. This is just not a good business. The only reason Hulu's in the business is because there's a much larger business called Hulu SVOD, which is almost the entire value of Hulu is their subscription business. Think of Handmaid's Tale and all the on-demand.
I think it's further back. Yeah, sorry. I played the wrong part. I just get this
history and purely focused on the opportunity of Disney Plus,
this
and really
here.
looking at Disney Plus
Sorry.
as the potential to be something much, much bigger than it is today. Forget about the $5 ARPU today. They're looking at the long term and what was an incredible array of content at their analyst day. What I think has gotten confused with Fubo is not an SVOD company like Disney Plus or Netflix. It's a 455,000 subscriber, very small company. I mean, Sony had 800,000 subscribers and shut the business down at the end of last year. It was called Sony View. AT&T has shut 1 million subscribers over.
Okay, so yeah, here you hear it. Yeah, and first of all, sorry, I played the wrong part. I just played it a bit later than I was supposed to. But yeah, you got the part about him saying the confusion is that it's being compared. Fubo TV is being compared to Disney and Disney Plus, and being compared to Netflix. That's exactly what I was talking about. People are probably comparing it to it, but this guy doesn't believe in the stock. And if you're saying the stock is not worth more than $8, and people say it's gonna be the next Netflix, like people think it's gonna be as great as Netflix, and to say it's I just want to play again what it is he says. I just wanted to hear the words he used.
An SVOD company like Disney Plus, incredible array of content at their analyst day. What I think has gotten confused with Fubo is not an SVOD company like Disney Plus or Netflix. It's a 455,000 subscriber, very small company. I mean, Sony had 800,000.
Yeah. He's saying it's being compared to Netflix, but it's way smaller. It's a smaller company. Why is it being compared to Netflix? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why couldn't you compare something small to something big and successful? I just don't get the it's sort of twisting it a bit to sound as if people, like, as if Fubo could only be successful if they were as successful as Netflix. Like, that's just taking the biggest and best and saying if you're not like the biggest and best, you're not successful. That it's just twisting things a bit. That's what I think. But anyways, and also he mentions this thing about Sony. So Sony had to close their streaming thing, their streaming service. I just want to play that part.
155,000 subscriber, very small company. I mean, Sony had 800,000 subscribers and shut the business down at the end of last year. It was called Sony View. AT&T has shut 1 million subscribers over the last year because this business doesn't make money.
Yeah, so Sony had to close their streaming thing that was called Streaming View, and it's yeah, I have another clip about that. I just wanted to, it's just a very short part. I think just want to play a bit here.
Sony saying, quote, unfortunately, the highly competitive pay TV industry with expensive content and network deals has been slower to change than we expected. Sony saying it's now focusing on its core gaming business. Kelly, back over to you.
Okay, so that was just a quick clip, and it's a year old, this clip. Sony had some streaming service on their PlayStation, which was called Sony View, and that had to close. And she said they're going to focus on their gaming platforms or something like that. She said instead. And again, to compare, let's say you can't compare FuboTV to Netflix, but you can compare FuboTV to Sony View, which in a sense is exactly the same as comparing it to Netflix. And the weird thing is, I could not really see Sony doing some form of streaming service on their PlayStation as a good thing. Like, I really couldn't see it. And it makes sense that they would focus on their gaming, because when I turn on my PlayStation, it's usually to play video games. It's not really to use the apps. Like, there is some good app functions. You know, you'd go in and you could open your Netflix and this sort of stuff on your PlayStation. But to go in and make a PlayStation streaming service on your PlayStation and expect that to be successful, I don't see that really as the same thing as going in making a total different sort of sports app and sports streaming service, and just being able to use that on whatever smart TV or whatever you have, and comparing it to some video game console where they tried to put make it so that you could stream from that. Like, to compare it to that and say, oh, they're heading that way because that's the way they head. they had to close their thing. So FuboTV also is gonna close their thing, but they're definitely not gonna do as good as the ones that didn't close their thing. Yeah. It's just it's just twisting things a bit around, and that's it's just a bit misleading, at least to talk about things that way. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong about the stock. Maybe he's wrong about the stock. Maybe someone else is right about the stock. I don't know. But to talk that way about things when you're supposed to be using facts to if you're an analyst, you're using facts and you're coming up with your numbers, but then you're all of a sudden coming up with these other things, comparing things to each other that doesn't really it's more the way you're comparing things to each other, and you can always compare things to each other in these ways where it comes out in your favor of your argument. You can always compare things in these ways where you twist it a bit. But anyways, that was just my thoughts about these articles and this interview I saw with this guy. And this interview with Rich Greenfield is from yesterday. It's from the 31st of December. But anyways, let's hope for the stock to pick back up soon, and that's what I believe it will do after this blows over, this dipping, this dip we're going through. And if I don't think about these articles and just more about what I hear people saying, it seems to be as if people are starting to think about buying back into this stock. Like, I've been buying back into this stock for all the way through this dip, but it seems as if people that wasn't willing to do it before are starting to consider doing it. So I think there is coming changes, and I think we're gonna pick back up sometime. I don't know when, but it could happen any day now, I'd say. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I really don't know. So don't listen to this I'm saying. Just make your own thoughts. Do your own studying, if you can call it that. And I really hope that you are successful in whatever way you are trying to be successful with this. And thank you so much for watching, and thanks to everyone that liked my last video. And if you feel like it, please like this one, and please subscribe if you feel like it. It's just nice that someone is watching, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and have a good day. See you.